Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Hello and welcome to What's on Tap podcast, where we kick off the holiday season in style.
It's one of my favorite episodes of the year, if not my favorite episode of the year, which is where we review several of the Systembolaget Christmas releases. So every year in early November, the local Systembolaget releases a large amount of Christmas-themed, Christmas-based beers. I think this year there was something like between the small and local release and the Christmas release, there's probably around 150 Swedish beers and other markets as well. Sometimes we see some UK beer, sometimes some Danish. This year was quite a few Danish. Sometimes German, but always a huge showing from Sweden. And I think we have some real interesting, fun beers to try today.
Yeah, we even have one from Norway on the lineup.
Oh, is that one from Norway? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize that. I know that a couple of years ago we reviewed the Ass beer, and I mean, come on, I could not review that.
You mean the Aas?
Aas? It was pretty good. It was surprisingly fun.
So the quality of these Christmas beers that released, like 150 beers released, the quality goes from amazing down to straight up mystifying that some of these beers get released.
Yeah, and it's really funny. That's a really hard slope of quality as well. So if 150 are released, there's probably 15 that are just really good. And then it's just like, and we're talking like really good, we're talking like maybe a 4, 4.25 if you're lucky. And then after that, it's like a scale of 3 to 3.5, and then everything else is just a race to the bottom.
Exactly.
That's what makes it so much fun for me, because you just never know what you're going to get. And because there's so many new things and so many things that haven't been reviewed on Untapped, it's really just a total crapshoot. So I'm pretty happy with our selection this year. First up, we have the Yulana, which is a julöl or a stark öl from Odd Island Brewing.
Yep, and they're from Gothenburg.
Yes, they are. And we've had some rather mixed results from Odd Island. Sometimes they can be really good, and sometimes they're not. So
say the name again.
Yulana?
Yeah, sure.
What? No, Yulana?
It's a reference to local Gothenburg dialect. So the name is Julänna. Julänna.
Okay.
Which means, so if you translate it, it becomes like a beer. You know, the like that's really low class. Like sure.
Yeah.
Kind of is another good like translation of enna.
Kind of beer. Well, this is a 5.6% stark oil, so which means this is just a beer.
and you would slap enna after basically anything you ask anyone. So, are you happy today, Anna?
Yeah.
Are you like happy today? Because the celebrity on the can is Glenn Hussein, a Gothenburg native soccer player turned TV celebrity.
He is definitely TV celebrity dressed up.
Yeah. It smells kind of malty lagery.
It smells like a lager. It smells like a stark oil.
Cheers.
The can don't lie. Mm-hmm. So, people that aren't Swedish or Scandinavian in general, there used to be a thing where you could just go into a bar and order a Storstag, which is a big strong beer.
Big strong.
It
was never really strong.
Yeah. We're still talking about 5.6% ABV. So those aren't strong beers. What it was just an indication that you wanted a big beer. And the particular brewery didn't matter. It was just whatever lager they had on tap.
Yes.
Usually Stadelpramen or
More likely Spendrups
or
Falcon
Crips or something
Crips.
like that. Yeah, that was back in the days when you didn't really have a tap list. You just kind of had whatever they had on tap, and that's what you got. And maybe they had 2 beers. So this is kind of a callback to those kind of things. This is just a Stockholm, and it is exactly what it says on the label.
Yeah, kind of bready, kind of malty. Very. Is it like a Vienna?
Yeah, kind of. There's a little bit of the metallic-y, longer notes in there.
Yeah. This has no Christmas qualities to it apart from the label.
The can is really what's winning me on this, and this is the most Christmassy can I think of all of them.
Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of traditional beer drinkers in Sweden, like the ones who would never touch craft beer, they think of Christmas beer as a slightly more malty, like a Vienna or not Märzen, like amber lager.
Amber lagers and Bock beers are usually your 2 kind of go-to styles. So usually, most of your real traditional Christmas beers that you get in Sweden from, like, say, Carlsberg and Spendrups and your mass makers of beer are kind of just slightly maltier lagers for the most part. So kind of in a Bock area. And the idea is when you're eating all of the ham and herring and cheese and everything, you want a kind of a bready or beer to chase it down with to complement the aquavit that you're having.
That is the theory.
Yeah. It's okay. It's like a 2.75 for me.
Maximum 2.5.
2.5.
I think it's failing with its prime objective. Like to be I don't think this would work that well at the Christmas table. Not compared to the style of beer that you're describing. I think there are way better examples.
I think this kind of is more like a somebody that just wants a lager with their meal.
Yeah.
And they want to feel fancy, so they got something that's
with a TV celebrity.
Yeah, TV celebrity. So next up is from Beerbliotek. One of the more fun breweries in Sweden. Again, kind of hit or miss. I think they usually do pretty good stuff. For me, they're usually a 3.5 or higher. Every once in a while, they come out with something that's just kind of like, ooh, that was a miss.
Yeah.
This one's called Stocking Filler. It's number 324, and this is a Schwarzbier, which is a black beer.
A dark lager.
Yeah, dark lager.
Which I think would fit very well together with a Christmas food table.
Yeah, and it's only 5.9%. So, I think it would be a good table beer for your Christmas. Oh yeah, that is.
And the label is amazing. It's this like knitted.
Yeah, it looks like a knitted sweater. Yeah. Christmas sweater. With
a moose on it and a star and a Christmas tree. It's great.
This is such a dark looking beer. I think this would scare people at first because it looks like it's going to be a big heavy beer, but when you smell it, you definitely get that lighter lagering of the beer.
Yeah, but it has a like a roasty quality to it.
Yeah. This is.
Let's try it.
Cheers! I'm excited about this.
Almost chocolatey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. It's very light. It's kind of refreshing,
but still reminds you of dark bread.
Yeah, it does have a kind of a dark, like a what you call it, like the Danish dark bread kind of flavor to it. This is pretty good.
One of the many Swedish words we use for bread of that kind is kavring. It's a very thick, dark bread, very compact.
Yeah. It's like a meal. If you really just need that one slice to help fill up the stomach on all of the.
And it's usually accompanied with the Christmas food. So this is way better.
This is much better. I really like the roasty aftertaste. Once it kind of settles and some air aerates across your palate, I think you have this really nice kind of roasty, toasted malt backbone to it. I am quite thrilled with this one.
Yeah.
So
325.
Yep, I think 325 is a good call for that one.
The next beer.
This one,
I am looking forward to with fearful anticipation.
is it because there's a goat on the cover and and it says "Don't fear the Yule Bock," but yet you're
Don't Fear the Yule Bock is an amazing name. The can is actually really good.
Yeah.
But you told me the brewery, and I don't think they're that good. And it's Brewhuslän. So Brewhuslän is a region of Sweden, and they just replaced the BO in Bohuslän with brew.
genius,
to make it
genius
Brewhuslän.
marketing right there. They really thought outside the block.
And it's like the Brewnited States of America.
Exactly. So
Right?
So,
Jeez.
well, their Instagram account is not. What was it? Brewhuslän?
What?
It's not. No, it's Planet of the Shapes.
What?
Yeah. Instagram planet_at_the_shapes. So you can find them online.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a shocker. I was not expecting that. But yeah, so this is a double bock. Comes in at 6.8%. So we're slowly increasing the ABV per beer, and this looks like cola. If I didn't know what it was, I would think I was drinking a Coke or a Coca-Cola or something like that.
Yeah, but I've seen many bock beers with this exact color. It smells a little bit almost yeasty, almost like a fart.
It's got an interesting aroma to it. I don't really know what that is. It's a little cardboardy, maybe.
It's not fart. It's toe jam.
Toe jam. All right, I don't know what you're smelling, but
Let's
for me,
try
it smells a little cardboardy. Oh. Yeah, this was the race to the bottom one.
A little smoky.
A
weird smoky flavor.
Yeah, I would say a weird, off-puttingly smoky flavor.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. That's a tough beer.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the people who buy this for their Christmas table and don't pre-taste it, and then they have everything. They've spent so many hours preparing this Christmas feast, and then they open this beer and all of the food is ruined.
Well, the good news is they probably only bought one can, so.
No.
You think they bought it by the case?
Yes, case after case. Yeah, I have no idea.
Just the aftertaste is like a weird liquid smoke, kind of artificial smoke flavor.
Yeah.
Which is really, really off-putting and unpalatable.
It's not very nice, unfortunately.
No, this one I'm going to have to go with a strong 1.
125.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, I'm fancy like that.
Yeah, that one was.
So next one I had to pick up from the shelves at Systembolaget. Couldn't be ordered because it was delivered to my local Systembolaget.
Yeah, this one actually is one of the few that got a national release across, I think, most Systembolagets. So there are a select few beers that aren't special order. They actually come out to every Systembolaget, and this is one of them.
So it's Norwegian brewery Kinn or Kinn, and it's their Tomasmesse 2019. And I think it's a Belgian quadruple, but I didn't check.
It is a 10.5% ABV, and it is a Belgian quadruple, which is a very standard style for Christmas ales. So what we don't have here is any Belgian Christmas ales. I mean, from a Belgian brewery. We don't see as many of those as some years. There's more than others. Carolus, or how you pronounce it.
And La Chouffe has a Christmas, but I forget what it's called.
We reviewed it last year, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this looks like a really good Belgian.
This one actually smells like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's kind of spicy. When I say yeast, I mean it in the positive way, like Belgian yeast. Like.
I also think this is going to have a kind of booziness to it because it is a Belgian quad. So. Cheers.
The color is quite murky.
Yeah, I really like the carbonation on it too. It has a real nice foamy head to it with a little, what's it called, micro kind of bubbles on top.
This one is one of the better ones for the entire Christmas release.
Yeah, this is actually a really good beer. This would be just a nice, fun Belgian quad to drink anytime.
It's not as boozy as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be really boozy.
It's very sweet with caramel, almost a little bit of fudge, but not fudge in the way like we usually describe thick imperial stouts, like this light fudge.
Yeah, it's got a nice richness to it, but still really light on the palate. It's very, very drinkable for 10.5%.
Yeah.
Kind of a little scarily drinkable.
Definitely. And the aftertaste has some Christmas spices.
Yeah, this is one you sneak on the table to kind of mess with everyone because they don't realize that they're drinking a 10% beer and they're just like, oh, this is delicious. And then they're just hammered on the floor after they've had their third shot of
standard Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I quite like this a lot. I'm actually going to give this a 4.
Yeah, me too. Strong 4.
Yeah, it's a very strong 4.
Almost 4.25. I think them releasing the 2019 now is a stroke of genius because I think this one needs a few years to kind of mellow out to become less boozy. I've had previous vintages, but I don't remember offhand. When I bought it, I thought, "Ooh, Tomasmesse. Oh, that's boozy." So that's a fun one. The next one I also had to pick up from my local Systembolaget, and it's from Malmö Meadery. It's Merry Christmas honey, and it's like a glug mead, glühwein mead.
Yeah, it is definitely a glug mead. And it contains honey red grapes, cherry black currant, blueberry, raspberry, blackberry, cinnamon, cardamom, clove, Seville orange, and sulfur dioxide. Yum.
I love sulfur dioxide.
Yes.
And it comes in at like 11.3% or something.
Yeah, 11.3% exactly. And this
I smelled it.
And this can be served warm or cold, and I feel like this is like what's the name of the
Lindemann's Glue Creek.
Right, which actually is horrible cold, but really tasty warm.
I don't think it's horrible cold. I think it's fun cold as well.
No, it's horrible cold. But warm, it was really good. I was quite surprised at how much better.
You want to heat this one up?
We'll throw it in the microwave for a little bit, see what happens.
It smells exactly like Swedish Glug.
This smells like Glug. And Glug, so another part of Swedish tradition, which you don't probably really grasp the importance of unless you live here, is the Glug release. Because it's not just like, oh, there's like 2 bottles on the shelf. There are, it feels like hundreds of bottles on the shelf.
It's not hundreds, but it's easily 20 or 30.
I would say there's about 20 to 25 easily. And it goes from just kind of like, I don't know what kind of crazy bastard buys a 2-liter box of Glug. You can buy the bag and box levels to like really expensive, like high-end versions of Glug. And there's one company in particular, Blossa, that releases a special themed bottle every year. And I will admit I've had it for several years, and it is not my favorite. I think if I'm going to go Glug, I just want the traditional.
I always want to try the special release, the vintaged one, but
you don't want a bottle of it, trust me, because it's usually some really weird flavors. They're just experimenting and going, what can we get people to buy this year?
Last year I think it was some kind of tea.
I think the year before that was like tropical pineapple flavor stuff. It was tough.
One of the best ones they've done is a long time ago. but it was orange. Just orange.
Yeah. I remember that one. That one was really. That one would be perfect for this.
So, to anyone who doesn't know what Swedish Glug is, it's mulled wine.
Yeah.
Very similar to German Glühwein, but it's not Glühwein.
No, it's wine with spices stewed into it.
Heavily spiced mulled wine.
Sometimes it might be fortified as well with like brandvin or vodka or something like that.
Cognac is...
Cognac, yeah.
It's a crazy drink, and this one smells...
It smells...
exactly like it.
Yeah, it smells crazy like it. All right, yeah.
Let's try it. Cheers.
I'm all for this. So one of the things that always is a little off-putting to me is how syrupy Glug can be. So I'm curious how this goes.
This one is very syrupy.
All we're missing is the raisins and almonds.
Yes. So, remembering, you said Lindemann's Glühkrieg. Remembering back how that tasted, this one is way better cold than the Lindemann's Glühkrieg was.
Much better. Lindemann's Glühkrieg was really uneven and weird.
This one works because of all the berries and fruits you said first.
Yeah.
It was like cherries and blueberries and
grapes and
stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what carries through the main flavor, and then on the aroma and the aftertaste, that's when the what's it, cinnamon and cardamom and stuff.
Cinnamon, cardamom, orange, cloves.
Yeah,
a lot of clove.
A lot of clove and a lot of cardamom in this one. But I think it works when it's in the aroma and in the aftertaste, but not that prevalent in the main flavor, because that's when a beer can lose me. If it's too many spices, when I have the beer in my mouth, that's when I can go, it's too much.
I think this is really well balanced.
I think so too.
It's a pepperkaker. I mean, it's a gingerbread, 100%.
At several parts of the tasting experience, it's closer to pepperkaker, gingerbread, than it is to glug.
Yeah. For me, especially in the aftertaste, I just think, oh man, I could really go for some like pepperkaker right now.
Yeah, some gingerbread. That's a really good tasting note, because that's what it ends at, and that lifts it and makes it less of a glug gimmick.
So yeah, I'm actually gonna give this a 4.25.
Me too.
I think it's really, really good.
But I was also scared that it would be bad. So I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. If it had been hyped to me before, then maybe I would have lowered it now.
Yeah.
But now it's been anti-hyped.
And that's really, I think, the miracle of Christmas beers is every can is a surprise. You never know what you're going to get, and there's always something that's going to lift your spirits and something that will also drag them down.
And we've had both here.
Yes, we have.
Ooh, I just got a gulp where I had a lot of grapes in the flavor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd be curious to like try this and let it sit out a little bit and aerate and see how it develops, because I have a feeling it's going to really blossom a lot more as it opens a little bit. So I would say actually this year's collection of beers we selected, the 5 we picked, pretty good. We did well. I mean, we blind picked a bunch of stuff, mostly based off of the packaging and the cans, because that's how we do things around here. And I gotta say, these were, for the most part, winners.
For the most part, 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. I mean, that's better than some years.
The Beerbliotek Stocking Filler is not a bad beer.
No.
Not at all. So
I mean, we both gave it like over a 3. So
yeah, I shouldn't say 2 out of 5. That's too harsh.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think 3 of these are really good. 2 of them are extremely high BV. But if I was going to pick one of these to be on my Christmas table, I would go with the Beerbliotek Stocking Filler.
Yeah.
It's definitely the hands down, I think, best for your Christmas table.
Definitely. So now we've kicked off. Now the holiday season can properly begin.
Yep.
I hope everyone's ready to start preparing for Christmas, because we are preparing for a Christmas calendar.
Our Advent calendar starts on December 1st and runs through the 24th.
And I'm so excited. I have some really cool, fun, and good beers lined up.
I know, me too. I have. I didn't collect through the year like I did the previous year. I kind of forgot until last minute, so I had to get a little creative, and I found a few things here or there, and I'm really looking forward to sharing those and talking about them and digging into them.
Yeah, I won't spoil too much, but I didn't. I did a little bit of preparing throughout the year, but only a little. So I had to also dig into my cellar and also get creative.
Yeah, and that's always appreciated.
Yes.
All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy the next 24 episodes, one a day, released every morning. Since we're doing our own calendar, I'm not worried about spoiling someone else's calendar experience.
No.
So you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find fine quality podcast. Until next time.
Keep drinking it, dum-dums.